back and I'm so excited. Today I am going to be coming back to this channel. Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I am finally back on this channel and I'm so excited. I have missed like recording and editing and posting videos. A lot has just happened. A lot. It's been years. It's been years, really. A lot has happened, but the most exciting part is that I have moved out and I'm in my own space, and with having my own space, I get to not only decorate it how I want, but I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and that includes being able to film and talk about books all the time. Today, I wanted to do a video that I've been thinking about for a while, is making like my monthly TBRs more fun. So I was thinking of like a fun way to do this, and I remembered that one of my favorite people, who I don't think does YouTube videos anymore, which is really sad, which is Cody's Book Corner, which I'll still put their playlist in channel like in the description, because I still love watching people's like old TBR like game videos. It's fun. But she did the Wheel of TBR, and this is my homemade version as well, and I think I did pretty good on it. So essentially what it is the spin the wheel, and every wheel has a different little circle that has different prompts. So these are all the other prompts that I can like switch out with. Essentially, I spin the wheel, whatever it lands on, I fill the book that prompt or matches that prompt. It doesn't, some of them are like genre based, so one might be to read a romantasy, might be to read a nonfiction, but for the most part I wanted to keep it pretty broad because I am a mood reader, but also I really now only read like fantasy, romance, romantasy, like and I'll sprinkle in like some nonfiction and some classics here and there, but those are kind of like my main genres, so I didn't want to be too broad. So there are still some fun other prompts in here. If you have any ideas for prompts, please let me know. But yeah, every month I will spin. I think I'm gonna start with 5. I think 5 is doable. 5 spins, and then once ever it lands on it, I will take that one off and replace it with just a random one in here. So I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna get into it. Yes, also this is halfway through May that I'm filming this, but better late than never. And also I've been reading a lot more, which I hope stays. So we are going to be doing a few different angles, because obviously this little board is behind me, and yes, it is on my wall. Mom, if you're watching this, you won't see it when you come because it'll be hidden behind something. But I have tried it a few times. Now that I have like a bigger nail in the center, it doesn't seem to be favoring anything. If it does, we will deal with that and figure it out as we go. But I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna go into spin number 1. Okay, so the first spin was romantasy, which is what I've been actually kind of craving and wanting to continue to read. So the book that I chose for this is Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. I am really behind on a lot of books that I should read. Who else isn't? But I actually recently picked this up because originally I was going to read it on Kindle, and then I came to the realization that I can't read fantasy, I can't read romantasy on like Kindle or ebooks. I can only really read like romance books, just general romance, which is fine. Everyone has a preference. I learned. So I picked this up, and this cover, I'm glad that I actually got this one, because to me this is way cuter. So this one I know has a lot of different characters in it, obviously Zodiac Academy. So essentially it says, I'm a Gemini, impulse, curious, headstrong, a twin, heir to a throne I know nothing about, and it turns out I'm Fae. But of course there's a catch. All I have to do to claim my birthright is to prove that I am the most powerful supernatural in the whole of Solaria. And sure, technically that's true, as I'm the daughter of the Savage King, but the bit they didn't put in the brochure was that every single Fae in this kingdom would claim my throne if they would. In this deadly academy, vampires bite weaker students in the corridors, the werewolf pack have orgies in the Wailing Wood at every full moon, and don't even get me started on the twisted ways the sirens use their powers on people's emotions. Or how my simply temptating cardinal magic professor hosts detentions that leave people needing therapy. But all I have to do is survive, but fate might have other ideas. Damn it, why couldn't I have gotten a letter to Hogwarts? So this essentially is like similar to like, okay, so I really love like fantasy or romantasy books that are like set in like a school and they have like some sort of competition. So I recently read Fourth Wing, love that. You have obviously like Throne of Glass, like that has like, well, that's not really romantasy, but you kind of get what I mean. Like I love those kinds of books, so I think this one's gonna be fun. I do know that there's a lot of characters on here. I'm interested to read this and finally kind of be able to get into the series. So for this being book 1, I am not mad about it. We're going to trade out Romantasy with, like, I don't really know how to shuffle these, but what is this one? Adaptation. So it can be any book that has been turned or will be turned into a TV or a movie. All right, spin number 2. So it landed on TBR avocado. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how to say this. In my head it makes sense. TBR avocado, which is essentially this vase that I bought that has all of my TBRs in there, and it's an avocado. So in my head it should be TBR avocado, like avocado. Anyways, essentially I wrote all of the books that I have not read, which is a wide range of stuff. This is like the worst jar. I didn't realize this at the time, but the like lid is real fun to get out there. Okay. What does it say? Also, my handwriting is horrendous. Icebreakers. Okay, let me go grab that. Okay, so the book is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I actually started this and then I just put it down because I was in the middle of doing something and just totally forgot about it. But obviously I will be restarting that because I don't remember. It actually is a romance where it's like enemies to lovers with a hockey player and a figure skater. I really do love also like sports romances, so this will be a fun one. And like I said, a lot of people do like it. This was all over Book Talk, so this is a nice second one. And this one's a smaller one, so it should be easier and faster for me to read. First, oh my gosh, I'm just jumping the guns. I'm gonna take off TBR avocado. We're going to put this one. A to Z. So essentially with this one, I will just do a random number, not number. I will do a random letter generator, and then there I can either use it to use the author's name or like their last name or the name of the book. The next roll that I got was for a short read, and for me, I'm going to use this as a 2 possible options. Number 1 would to be a physical book that is under 200 pages, or 2 to be any sort of ebook, like romance book or anything, because I read those so fast. Like I could probably down, like not down, but go through one of the books in like maybe 2 or 3 hours. So I wanted to be able to do that to kind of give myself more leeway. I don't have a lot of like short books that I have right now physically that I would want to read, so I'm going to go with a romance book, and the one that I'm choosing is The Butcher by Penelope Sky, which is the first book in the Fifth Republic series. So this book is just one that I like randomly found and I added it to like my library, and I haven't read it yet. So this says, I found out my husband of 3 years cheated on me, and his mistress is the one who told me because he didn't have the balls to do it himself. I move out, get a new apartment, have a job as a bartender, and try to move on from a broken heart. I wonder where it all went wrong, if I hadn't been enough for him, if I hadn't been stupid for marrying him in the first place. I'm at work one night when he walks inside, the most beautiful man I've ever seen. He sits at the bar and forest fire burns between us. I was depressed at the moment before he entered, but the second I look at his blue eyes, I forget the dumpster fire that my life has become. I invite him back to my place, and it's the most passionate night of my life. I never expect to see him again. I just want him as an antidepressant, but he wants me all to himself. I just got my heart ripped out of my chest, so I want something easy and no string attached, but he wants all the strings because he's hooked. I don't get much of a say of this matter, and that's not surprising when I learn why. Because he's the butcher, the crime lord of all crime lords, the boss that overshadows all of Paris, that makes everyone abide by his rules or pay, and now I'm his. So it's just like your typical romance, but I really like Penelope Sky, and the photo, the man looks like a hunk on there, so I am totally okay with reading that. So now we are going to change we have large cast. So this is just a book that has a large cast of characters. Okay, this so far is doing me real good. The next one I landed on was Book Talk. So for this one, I'm going to go on TikTok, go on my book account, because I have a book account and a non-book account. If you want to follow me on my Book Talk, I don't really do that much on there, but I'm going to open up my Book Talk, and the first book that I see on there that I own, I'm going to read. First one that I see that I have is King of Envy, but I haven't read the first one, which is King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I think I'm pronouncing that right, so I'm gonna go grab that. So the book then I will be reading is King of Wrath by Anna. I need to pronounce this right. I'm just gonna say Anna H. I've only read one other book by them. I read Twisted Love, and I did enjoy that, but this is the first book in the Kings of Sin book. So this is about a ruthless billionaire CEO, Dante Russo, and then Vivian Lau, who is a jewelry heiress and then daughter of his newest enemy. So it's going to be an enemies to lover kind of situation. So I'm excited to read this. This one has been on my shelf for a little bit, and I do want to read it. So this will be a fun one to add. We will be replacing this for our last spin. We have reread. So this will be a book that I want to reread. This will more likely be a reread so I can continue a series. Okay, so the last one I got was A to Z. So I'm going to actually ask Alexa for a random letter, and we'll see what she gives us. So Alexa, can I have a random letter, please?
From code.fr. A random letter is a letter drawn at random from an alphabet.
Alexa, can you give me a random letter?
Here is a letter, J.
J? Are you kidding me? Alright, I'm gonna need to find either a title that starts with J or an author that's last name starts with J. Actually, I'm not even gonna do last name. We'll just say author's first or last name starts with J. So let me go look, because this is gonna be fun. Okay. This actually had a few options, but the one that I chose was a big boy. But I have a feeling that because these are romance, I'm going to be able to go through them really fast. That's what my head is thinking. So I chose Malice by John Gwen, I think is how you pronounce his last name. So this is a high fantasy, so it follows 4 different characters. In each of them, we have Corbin, who wants nothing more to be a warrior under the king's rule. Evnus, who has sacrificed too much, but he wants the power to rule. Veratus, who is the newest member of the warband for the High Prince, Nathar. And then Nathar, who has ideas, and many of them don't involve his father, the High King. So the Banished Lands has a violent past where the armies of men and giants clashed in battle, but now giants stir anew, stones weep blood, and there are sightings of giant worms. Worms? Is that how you say it? Worms? One thing you should probably know about me is I'm really bad at pronouncing stuff, so that's fun. Those who can still read the signs see a threat far greater than the ancient wars, for if the black sun gains ascendancy, mankind's hopes and dreams will fall to dust, and it can never be whole again. So I know a lot of people like this. I believe Reagan from the Peruse Project, I think that's still her channel name, really liked this, and she is someone that I always like to see like what kind of high fantasies that she is reading. And this one is a big boy, and it has been on my shelf for a while, so I would love to be able to get this done. I think that this is a series. I'm assuming, yes, the first in the the Faithful and Fallen series or trilogy, but yes, I would like to get this done. So this is going to be the 5th and final book that I need to read. See what I did there? I'm going to change out the last prompt just so that I do not forget for next month. And also I'm going to make sure that I go through all of these before I put in the new ones, or put in the ones that I just did, just because I don't want it to be a problem of me getting the same prompts over and over again. All right, we have royals, so it just has to be a book that has royals in it. Okay, so to recap, the 5 books that I need to read this month are, to reiterate the books that I have to read this month: for romantasy, we have Zodiac Academy. For TBR Avocado, we have Icebreaker. I always want to say Icebreakers, but it's Icebreaker. For short read, we have The Butcher. For book talk, we have The King of Wrath. For A to Z, we have Malice. I think that this is optimistic because it is, like I said, halfway through the month. But I do think that I can definitely get through these if I make sure that I focus on these books. And I think I can do it. So those are the 5 books that I will be reading this month. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I'm so happy to be back in filming and editing and posting. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any TBR prompts that I can add to this wheel, because I feel like it's just always fun to get more ideas. Let me know what you guys are planning to read this month. I am excited for the summer, because summer for me is always, randomly, I don't know why, but this summer I feel like I read way more. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys for my next video. Bye.